All right, guys, we're online with Camelot out of the Roundtable team. How you feeling tonight, Camelot?
Oh, we're feeling pretty good. Just got done watching that cast of the last game.
And what did you like? How do you like your odds? And what are you gonna have to be looking out for coming up against this sweet and sweaty team?
I mean, we were talking about it, and we realized why they made it to the finals as well. They're no joke. We're pretty cognizant of some of their tactics right now. Don't really want to give it away at the moment, but I think we're ready for what they have.
You tell me you guys were watching that game and taking some notes and thinking about how you can go. Let me ask you this: are you banning the Loki?
That's a good question, and that's something that I think we all need to find out together.
I think it's well worth a shot. When you talk about team comps, we saw a couple things different from you guys throughout the tournament. Some that were pretty standard, some that were more hyper-aggressive, just full in on the burst damage. What are you looking to do here, if you could give us some secrets without throwing the game?
Sure, yeah. So when you build, normally the standard build that has been done time and time again, everyone knows how to counter that. It's easy to counter. What we want to do is build something strong that, not everyone does, and that'll, hopefully throw them off the game.
I like that little saucy, kind of like picking a Loki in Joust. No one sees it coming, and then you don't know how to deal with it.
No one's ever seen a Loki before in Joust.
I don't want to see one ever again, I'll tell you that. Certainly not in some finals. Ban it, or I'm going to do it. All right, when we talk about Ranger Danger, just real quick, let's get your opinion. Who wins in a Sylvanas 1v1, Ranger, 11 Danger, or iNooblet?
Or iNooblet. I can't say I've seen your Sylvanas, but I'd give you the odds. I've seen you play before.
All right, guys, we're gonna cut this interview short. Camelot's player doesn't know what he's talking about here. Doesn't watch any of the best Smite players out there. That's fine.
I have to say, Nooblet's got the 360 pulls, but Ranger Danger is pretty nasty on the Sylvanas.
All right, so it's a toss-up. It's dead even. I got it, guys. I'm understanding everything that's happening here.
Thrown out there.
Well, that's gonna do it for all my questions. Brickhouse, you got any questions for the man going into the finals here?
Is there anything you're particularly worried about from the other team?
Yes, I would be.
You don't have to disclose, but
yeah, they're obviously very coordinated. And in the middle of the team fight, that can become a hectic place. But they seem to be able to hold it together really well in the middle of team fights, and also do some unusual tactics. So that's the only thing I'm worried about, is seeing something I've never seen before, not knowing what to do about it, and not being able to adapt.
So do you feel confident going into this game?
I think we've always been confident from the start.
Yeah, from your games, y'all seem very confident. I like what I'm seeing out of y'all.
Mind you, we're not cocky. We're staying
humble.
Pretty,
Very humble. Misinformed, but humble. I like it.
Yep.
All right, Camelot, well, that's going to do it for us. I hope you guys are ready to play the finals. We're certainly ready to watch it. I appreciate you giving us some time here and a little insight into what we're about to see. Good luck out there.
Send it.
Just going to send it. All right, guys, we're going to try and get somebody on the line here if we can from Sweet and Sweaty. They might be a little too good and a little too famous to talk to little old me, but we're going to try and get them on, so hold tight real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, who could we be online with from Team Sweet and Sweaty? I bet you boys wanted to talk to Ranger Danger. Not going to give him the chance. We're talking to EJ here, Mr. Loki player, Mr. Doesn't Miss, I'm a monster. How are you feeling after that game?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm real comfortable. So far, that team, they definitely tried to ban out my gods, but, I got another trick in my bag. You can't look too far.
I honestly wasn't expecting that good of a Scylla game from somebody who plays that good of a Loki. What else do you have in your back pocket that you're not telling us, EJ?
I can't say, but what I can say is in Conquest, in this order, I learned the game. I learned solo, then I learned jungle, then I learned mid. And I learned mid once I already had my mechanics down. So my mages are kind of nasty, not gonna lie.
So we could potentially seeing a saucy warrior coming out then.
Maybe a warrior. You know, you can play a lot of stuff in solo. It doesn't necessarily have to be a warrior all the time.
Yeah, you're right. Especially in this meta, anything goes really over there in the solo lane. I guess that's probably also where your Loki came from. You're probably a Loki solo player. Stay out of my ranked games, EJ. Let's talk about this game that we just had. You went 11-2 on a team that had 13 total kills in the final game of the semifinals. Do you attribute that a lot to your aggressive solo play and not missing, or was it set up a lot by your teammates?
It was a little bit of both. You know, like I always try to play with confidence, but not with cockiness. You know, and then my Sylvanas, I got a great support, you know, and he's got multiple supports that he's been pulling out this whole time. They banned the Sylvanas out in one of our games. He just went to another one. And it's like, you know, his setup is there. I'm hitting the abilities, repositioning all the time, and it's just allowing us to win these team fights.
Well said. While we're online with the other team you're going to be facing here in finals, they said you guys play well as a team. They're paying attention a little bit to the picks you're doing. Are you guys worried about maybe some comfort picks getting banned out, especially on that Ranger Danger? I don't know that he can play any other god.
We're absolutely not worried about, because we were sitting in the comms. We were realizing, man, dang, maybe we did play our comfort picks too much. Everybody's seeing what we play. What are we gonna do for this next game? We're like, chill out. You know, we got some more picks. We can make a different team comp. You know, I just want you to know though, don't give me that Loki, man. I was number 1 Loki in ranked Joust for a reason. It doesn't
Weird
always
flex,
be
but all right.
Snowball.
Don't give the man Loki. You heard it here first. We're looking forward to seeing what's going on in these finals. Brick, do you have any questions for the man here?
Is there anything from the opposing team that you're worried about?
Honestly, the only thing maybe worried just a little bit. We noticed they like to go a double tank comp, you know, and it's that did used to be the meta for Joust. All it is like if you can out sustain that early game pressure, late game immediately turns into the team that has the 2 squishies. Double tank is not always the way to go, especially with these high pin items that are getting buffed for the mages every single patch for some reason.
So, do you feel like you're more leaning towards the mages, or?
Can't say. We run a traditional.
All right,
Joust
keep
team.
your secrets, EJ.
We run a traditional Joust team, but don't be surprised when you get hit with that curveball in picks and bans.
All right, last thing here, EJ. Let me get your prediction. Is this going to be a clean 2-0 sweep from either team, or are you guys going to take this to a game 3?
I'm predicting a game 3. You know, we respect our opponents a lot. You know, nothing disrespectful, and then they respect us at the same time, staying humble themselves, even though they made it this far. So, you know, I expect it'll be a nice game 3 set. You know, both teams really pulling out everything they can, making some epic plays here.
I have a request.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say this for Jared's sake. I want to see. It doesn't matter if it's you or the enemy team. I want to see somebody play some Ao Kwang here, just for my boy Jared.
Quangarang.
The Quang
Is that
ring.
a possibility? He is really
Hecate?
Good right now, and he
The new Hecate's ring, the same Ao Kwang that I play in the jungle when I play Ranked Conquest.
I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe we'll get to see one. I hope we do.
Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I don't know. It depends on if someone's confident enough to use it.
Well, if anybody's confident enough, it should be you, EJ.
I don't know.
That would be spicy, and I would appreciate that pick. No telling what's going to happen here in the finals. All I know is it's going to be a dang good set. All right, EJ, we'll let you get back to your team, start strategizing as we hop into the finals. And the finals of the tournament, Air Force Gaming Smite 3v3 Joust. Here, live, time now. All right, here we are in game of the finals, Roundtable versus Sweet and Sweaty. And looking at these comps, my oh my, we see the Hu Yi going back to K-Mills, Cthulhu for Ranger Danger. I like seeing him on that. He plays it very well. And Pele for EJ Cool. I didn't expect that one, and I think it's going to be saucy. On the other side, Quadratic King bringing out the Nox. The Medusa, the Anubis. We saw this exact comp earlier on. The Nox, Medusa, and Anubis. And it was good. They chain CC'd so well the entire time, and they just bursted people down. How do you feel about this one?
I believe this is going to be a little bit of a give and take. I'm curious to see how the Medusa, Anubis, and Nox will hold up. They did great last time this comp went in. But I'm curious to see how this Cthulhu, Hawaii, and Pele is going to manage to stop.
Who do you give this to early game? Personally, I feel, Pele's a very good early game aggressive god. Cthulhu can do so much. But then you have the Nox Medusa over there, and that's so much control. And the way they CC chained earlier on, I don't know how this goes. I feel, personal opinion, a little bit dead even. I think if Roundtable plays it right, they have the advantage. But how do you feel, Coach?
Roundtable was going to have pressure early from the get-go just because they will be able to clear that wave in like a half a second. While Sweet and Sweaty, it's going to take them a little bit, but they'll clear. But I believe Roundtable might have the edge in the early game. Later as this goes on, you got to be careful because that Anubis is just going to just one-shot whoever he wraps.
Agree. And I don't know if you caught this game earlier on, Coach, but my, oh my, was it nice to see somebody hit a Nox combo and immediately, as soon as it's done, followed up by a wrap or followed up by a Medusa dash. It's just, both these teams play so well together, and this is going to be an absolute brawl.
Can't wait to see it. Curious to see
Everybody
what
choosing to start their own buffs. Nobody invading here. Are you surprised?
Maybe they're just trying to play it easy for right now, see how things go.
So we see Pele getting Warrior's Blessing and nothing else here at the start, prioritizing those multi-pots and that Chalice. How do you feel about that? That's coming out. No power spike here for Pele.
I believe Pele is just trying to help set up CC. She has a lot of early damage built into her kit. She does have good burst. She does have the good base damage numbers on her ability. I believe she's just getting that Warrior's Lesson to help tank going into that team comp.
Well said. Over here, Roundtable going to get those mid Harpies just above red buff. I expect both these teams kind of prioritized red buff in their earlier games. I expect as soon as that spawns, there's going to be a bit of a dance and maybe our first fight.
Looks like Pele's just trying to go in and get stacks. Because Evolved Warrior's Blessing is really good. It might not give you no power, but it gives you 25 protections of both magical and physical, and that's really strong in the early game.
Now that I think about it, I do think we saw, maybe even yesterday, EJ play Pele solo in a Conquest match. I believe that was him that was playing that, and it seemed to be really, really good and a little bit unstoppable. It's just a lot of aggression, a lot of control coming out. It's super easy to dive backline there, and if you have a Cthulhu tanking all the damage as well as putting out some. Oh, quick root, a little bit off the mark here. Rooted one, Medusa dashed on the other. Big damage come out of both. Medusa in some trouble here. She gets dive bombed by Hui. Pele coming back in now. She's got some sustained. Great Nox root. And then the Anubis follow up. First blood going the way of Roundtable onto the Anubis, who hits 5 before anybody else. Might look to finish a Hui here or something. Root there again, hit the ult. Cthulhu in trouble. Can't dash out. Great kill.
This looks like this is going to be a game right here. That Nox holding on to her silent to help make sure that Pele wouldn't knock up and then hit the root on him. Really outstanding play here. I like how Roundtable is grouping up and help keep Sweet and Sweaty not grouping up on them and just keeping them fun on killing them one at a time.
That was bold play, and I think play of that fight definitely goes to the Nox, getting that root so Pele didn't get first blood, giving the first blood to Anubis, who could then turn around and blast somebody with his ult. I think that was just a great compiling fight right there.
And Anubis got 2 of the first kills. You want to see it on him because he can be a very strong hyper carry the later this game goes.
That's the thing about Anubis, right? Is he either gets big and it pretty much becomes unstoppable, or he falls behind and becomes a little bit useless, right? And they're getting the good end of that deal over on Roundtable, and be interesting to see how he tries to make this snowball.
I'm curious to see how this is going to work. It looks like Medusa is going to go into a Transcendence and Nox is going into a Book of Thoth. I wonder how they're going to both build stacks. Roundtable's already got got 2 full items online, while Sweet and Sway are still struggling to get their items.
That's kind of the thing about starting with Warrior's Blessing is now Pele is going to go into boots. So she's going to be waiting quite a while to get that initial power spike as they go in. They're wasting time. They didn't like die in the last one, but Anubis blowing up Pele. Cthulhu still up in his ult, trying to make something happen. Huyi ult comes out. Anubis is going to walk away. I admire the aggression. They don't want to be the ones on defense here, but oh man, did Pele just get detonated.
As soon as she ulted in, Nox dropped her silence on there, so where she couldn't knock up anybody, and it just boom, Anubis Wrap dead. Well, nothing she could do. She didn't even get to play the game.
Sent back to Fountain, but the good thing about Pele is she still gets stronger as the game goes on in something like this. Not necessarily falling off, kind of plateauing out, but she's definitely going to, once she gets those power spikes, it doesn't matter if that Pele is 0-7, she's probably going to get some kills later on. I'd imagine around the 10-minute mark.
Once she gets her Soul Eater, you'll start seeing her take some strides because it synergizes very well with her passive. When she's below a certain amount percentage of health, I think it's 40%, she gets increased ability lifesteal.
What kind of build would you like to see out of this Cthulhu? More of a hybrid build or more just full tank? He still puts out quite a bit of damage when he builds, very tanky. What would you like to see him build into this? And we know historically Ranger Danger likes to build a little bit of damage on his boys.
I'd love to see a Spear, a Divine. I'd love to see some damage come out. They're not a tanky team, but you know that if you can build some flat, then you're going to hurt. Cthulhu's already inherently tanky because obviously they have Guardians have better protection scaling. I would love to see maybe a couple defense items and the rest damage to be able to stop them from just trying to run right at them and do their CC tank. But the one form of CC you really struggle at being able to stop is straight utter damage.
Playing a little bit of a skirty game here. I think Cthulhu is just waiting for his blink to come back up, and then we could probably see another initiation here as Pele slows that blue buff. Get a little XP for herself. Medusa out in the jungle might get caught out by this Pele, but the Nox is there to support. Cthulhu, big ult, blocks that full Nox ult. K-Mill's gonna get Medusa. Anubis running for his life. Pele just kind of coming in here to support Nox very low. Dash already down, and Cthulhu's right on top of it. Might see a Phoenix dive here. Could be bold. Gonna survive. Great plays there. I think the best play there was the Cthulhu body block on the Nox ult. Couldn't get off that that damage. Couldn't get off the passive that happens with the stats on everybody to take reduced damage. That was great. Great fight there, and they brought it right back within 400 gold.
Yeah, Medusa missed her dash, tried to thread the needle, hit the wall. They tried to rotate and help her, but I just believe there wasn't really nothing they could have done. Cthulhu, once he gets into his ult, you might as well just build you, or make sure you pack a picnic because you're going to be sitting there a while.
Looking like they're in a good spot now. Ate some early aggression, but coming online, Anubis still the biggest one in the game. Already starting his third item. And I think this is going to be real big. How do you feel about the Soul Eater on Huyi? We've seen it a couple times now tonight.
I think it's something different. I know since he's probably not hitting a lot of basics, Huyi does have a lot of damage from his abilities. He does have half and half in there. I'm curious to see how he's going to get it to work. Oh, that was disgusting. Great ult from the Medusa into the CC chain. Well, nothing you could do from that. That was just perfect execution coming from Roundtable.
And I feel like this is exactly what we thought this game was going to be. It's just going to be a back and forth fist fight. Kills here, kills there. Momentum swings all over the place. Pele goes in. Big three-man ult. Just putting out the damage. Anubis answers back, but him and Medusa are so low. If there was a Hu Yi there, this would be 2 kills for Sweet and Sweaty, but instead it's 1 death for them.
I don't know if you saw in that play right there, you saw the Medusa dash into the Pele. Medusa's dash reduces healing by 50%. That Pele could not heal while she was in that threshold. That was a great time.
Smart use of the kit, and that just boils down to knowing the god you're playing. Using that anti-heal, people forget a lot about the built-in anti-heal to Medusa, and that stun is so good. CC immunity from the Pele, but that heal reduction right there, that was probably game changer. Might have got off that double kill right there. Not for that.
Looks like Real Table's got a game plan and they're sticking to it. They're really good at trying to handle the counter initiation. Cthulhu wants to dive on them. Cthulhu, to me, is going to be the game changer for this. He's going to have some key ults because they're going to have to bait the Anubis ult down in order for them to be able to be successful. Because that's a lot of their burst coming from there. I'm not saying he's the only damage dealer, but if he can get his ultimate down, you have a higher chance of breaking through that CC chain.
You sure do. Be interested to see how Sweet and Sweaty answers back here. It could have been a good answer. Cthulhu immediately blinks in and heads to the ult. Pele ult back up. Hu Yi ult down on the ground. Pele healing now, but the noob is all too strong. Just straight melts him. Looking at Cthulhu. Those protections really strong on him. A dive bomb coming in, but can't get off his one due to the Nox. Silence. Cthulhu picks up a kill for his efforts and gets out of dodge. A 1 for 2. Still in favor of Roundtable.
I want to bring back to that fight. You saw Nox hit the Pele with her ult, which the thing about Nox's ult is you do have damage reduction from the person who's attacking. So that Pele was doing, I think 20% less damage to them during that whole entire time. Great use of the ult and awareness from the Nox.
And we were talking about that earlier in this tournament. Nox is a great pick and is really more a helpful utility god. Like, she can put out the damage, but even if you, this is why people play Nox support, because of the kit, the silence, the root, the ult, that if you use it at the start of a team fight, that team's doing hardly any damage to you as what they would. It's great utility god and a game changer, and I really like the Nox pick here. Oh, Medusa going straight in, answered back with the knock up to the Hu Yi stun. Bit of a play, and Pele wants some more. Nox dashes out of danger. Anubis sitting right here, though, might be in some danger. See what happens.
It
Nox
looked like
a
to
little
me
off
that
the mark.
Medusa tried to get a little bit ahead, but ult coming from Anubis couldn't really stop that. Pele just dancing around.
Back and forth here. Great play. I think Medusa got a little too big for his britches, but I like the aggression. Trying to clean it up here. Big A just immuning that stun. And oh, wow, they clean it up, and this could be a T1 for him.
Yeah, I believe the Nox should have just gave the T1. I don't believe her loss of life should have went to that.
I agree. It gives up a lot of advantage on the field, a lot of pressure, but also you dying, you're losing a lot more. That you're still going to lose the tower, still going to lose pressure, but now you just gave the other team a lot of XP, and you're losing farm here for at least 20 seconds.
And she's almost done with this Book of Thoth stack, so this time when she's being back in fat was really going to hinder her.
Look at this utility build coming out of Hu Yi. We talked about the Soul Eater, which is a little unconventional. I can see its place. If you're trying to go ability based, though, Transcendence really is the common answer to that. And Hu Yi does great ability damage. And then going straight into the Toxic Blade. He's a little worried about this Anubis. Doesn't want him to get any bigger. And he's just going to go ahead and get the anti-heal online.
I see Cthulhu picked up a Curse Honk that's really good. You're going to see him blink, Curse Honk, and then ult to really help stop and put this Anubis in the check.
I think that's a relic that makes huge plays and people forget about a lot of times, and I agree. I really like it here on this Cthulhu, and it's going to completely shut down that Anubis. Anubis pops in his ult. He's going to try and out-sustain you while out-damaging you, and if he's got Curse Honk on him, he's probably a sitting duck.
I'm curious to see when this Cthulhu is going to upgrade, because when you upgrade, you take 20%. I believe it's 20%. I could be wrong. but you take more damage the more you heal.
Thinking about starting a fight there. They let him go. Wrap back around, taking the safe path into lane. They don't have a tower to run here, too. They have to go all the way back to their Phoenix. I imagine in 2 seconds here, Cthulhu's thinking about blinking in and starting something, but they're going to settle for red before they do that.
Yeah, they don't need to lose a team fight to put Round Table further behind. They're not too far behind. They're only about maybe 1k gold down. Nothing you can't come back and fighting.
Yeah, and only 256 in an XP difference. That's almost nothing here. The gold, not unrecoverable, and the XP certainly. And one team fight will change that. You're looking at Dead even here as he goes in. Cthulhu starting the fight. Pele answering right on top of him. Booyah ult right on the mark. Nowhere for Medusa to go. Dive bomb. Nox dead. Last one is Anubis, who's getting out sustain here. Gets the double kill to answer back, and he's healthier as Pele tanks the Phoenix. Anubis with the triple kill and standing alone in the Phoenix, getting it done for his squad.
Great play from the Anubis to recognize that the Pele was going to try to knock him up with in the state in the horn. Wow. I was about to say Round Table looked like they got a little ballsy and tried to play in their tier 1 tower, and they got caught, but somehow they managed to come back. That Anubis ult destroyed the Cthulhu and that Houyi. And great play. This looks like it's going to be a tier 1 tower. I'm curious to see. They might be going Demon King.
I think that's a good call, and they should do it. Let's talk about how you said Cthulhu should blink in, use that Curse Song right away, initiate. That way Anubis isn't a problem. And he didn't. He blinked in, didn't pop the Curse Song, and Anubis got a triple kill. Do you think that was a mistake there on his part?
I think he may. I don't know if he thought maybe, if I blink in, I can press it while I'm in my ult. Don't know. Maybe he pressed his ult too quick and he couldn't get his Curse off, because they did make it where he can't use relics in his ult now. If I'm guessing, he probably ulted it, or he blinked, thought he hit it, and then ulted and it didn't go off. Either way, I want to see that Curse Hunt next time.
I think that changes everything if that Curse Hunt comes out, and bit of a misplay, but maybe not used to the change that just happened. Maybe didn't see it, or maybe just accidentally didn't hit it full on. Next time, though, I bet he's going to be changing how he plays. He's like, yeah, that's my bad, guys. That Curse Song didn't come out when it should have. And bit of a rookie move coming out of Ranger Danger. We're not used to seeing that, but worth noting.
Curious to see when if this Noob's going to pick up any more percent pin. Right now, he's sitting on 10 with Typhon's thing. None's coming out from the Knot, and none coming out from the Medusa. I'm curious to see how they're going to start blowing this Cthulhu up. He's gotten tankier. He's went much like a full tank build. Let's see how they're going to manage to take this Cthulhu down.
How about this? Ranger Danger building tankier than he normally does, committing all of his items to magical defense. He's not even worried about this Medusa.
I don't think he's worried about the Medusa too much, because the Medusa is just trying to sit on, or just try to handle the payload. Looks like there might be a Demon King, or I don't think Sweet Sweating, no. Looks like they're going to try to take a team fight, but they might be ambushed here. And they are great ult. Burn his beads. Cthulhu ult, Curse off, like we said. Looks like Houyi's dead. They're going to get the Medusa. Medusa gets both the Oelix and not coming up to finish the Cthulhu. I would love to see them go Bull Demon. I believe they have enough damage to take it.
I think they do. I think it's an easy Demon King call here. We saw that time. He did pop the Curse Honk, but they kind of got split in the fight. Houyi was trying to come around the back, got caught out by the Nox, couldn't really get to the fight, and that's a lot of damage and a big ult that they could have used. He actually died with his ult. I think just a little bit of a split. That it's kind of a weird spot in the jungle there. A lot of passes to take, a lot of chances to get split, and I think it just ended up being a better team fight for round table there.
Yeah, Round Table caught Pele with his ult, burnt his beads, and just the Cthulhu and the Pele went together and just left the Hou Yi by himself, and he could not just funnel in with them and fight. I believe if Hou Yi would have ulted on that Anubis, that would have gone Sweaty's way. Just a little bit bad, poor communication and passing.
Now, what would you like to see here? The Phoenix about to probably be under siege, and it'll be useless in this next fight. Would you like to see them still make the stand under Phoenix so they can retreat to Fountain better? Would you like to see them meet them halfway up the lane and take the aggressive fight?
I want to see them at least defend the Phoenix, because the problem Roundtable has is they can't tank a Phoenix for very long. They're not a very tanky team. If they can clear the wave out and just keep clearing waves and don't let a wave get under Phoenix, they won't be able to burst that Phoenix down. Because that Medusa, Nox, and Anubis will hit that Phoenix hard, especially with that Bull Demon team. It looks like we got a fight here. Great ult coming from the Hui on the Medusa and the Anubis. Cursed on.
Oh, that's what we wanted to see right there, Coach. You got the double kill coming out Ranger after the Cursed Ankh, and they clean it up. Easy Phoenix defense. Hardly touched it, and now they're walking up mid lane. The whole team dead for at least 30 seconds.
This might be game.
This could be game if they're bold enough. Might play it safe, get the Phoenix and back off. I would like to see them go all the way right here.
Yeah, it was like I told you. They needed that Hou Yi's ult on top of that Cthulhu, and as soon as they did it, boom, game changer. They won that fight. I don't know if they'll be able to tank.
Yeah, you saw them thinking about it. They decided to back off because worst case scenario, they spawn back. They get deicited, and then that team's walking it up middle lane themselves. And you don't want that. Take what you can get. Go back. Get the farm on their side of the jungle. Get red buff. You just won a fight into a Demon King. And so I think take the fight again. Do exactly what you did. Wait for your ults to come back up. Wait. They're probably not going to have Cursed Ankh before this next fight, but wipe them and end the game.
I believe Roundtable don't need to sit and play on the back foot. They need to take a fight. The Cursed Ankh is down for the Anubis. Or it's down so they can't just immediately just destroy the Anubis. I believe this is going to be a good fight. If they're
kind of just going in solo 1v3. Just want to get some poke off. Or Blink's going to be down. That was good damage there. It's going to send him back in a little bit up the lane. I like it. Just a little show of force. Nothing there. Didn't get a kill. Didn't die. Just saying, hey, I'm still here. Don't forget about me. I'll come in whenever I want.
I'm curious to see how they're going to stop this Cthulhu engaging. They saw how the Cthulhu wants to engage and how their team's going to play. I'm curious to see if you're going to see the Nox try and silence the Cthulhu that's running up and then root him to stop him, and they just burn the Cthulhu then, because he can't ult if he's silenced and CC'd. I'm curious to see if that's going to be a game plan, but at the same time, they just committed everything just to kill that Cthulhu. But it looks like we're about to see a
yeah, the Cthulhu looks like he's about to come on in. He's getting a Nox combo, not going to do enough damage. There goes the Cursed Ankh right on top of Anubis. He's chasing him down the lane. This is going to be hard to deal with. Pele, best chase in the world. Just putting out the burst. Hou Yi going to finish it with his ult. I would have liked to see him save that for Titan just to burst it down, but wants to confirm the kill, and they might be looking to push Titan here.
I believe the call should have been to kill the Cthulhu. You had him silenced. I believe they would have killed the Cthulhu. Pele wouldn't have been able to stop the sustain coming from the Anubis with just Divine. The Hou Yi was too far back. I believe they should have committed on the Cthulhu, killed the Cthulhu, and they would have had a better chance of that team fight.
But they got fire minions here. They got 20 seconds till they spawn. It looks like game one going in the way of Sweet and Sweaty, and what a game back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way to start a final. Wow. What was that did? It looked like it was back and forth, punching each other in the face. Momentum shifts. Big triple kill out of a couple of the players. And at what point did this tilt in favor of Sweet and Sweaty? Was it an item coming online, power spike? Was it just figuring out who to target? When was it that it went in favor of them to win this game?
The moment Cthulhu hit level 12 and got Cursed Ankh was the spell that turned the tide. You can't you just cannot stop the amount of anti-heal that was coming from both him plus the pestilence. They couldn't heal. The Anubis couldn't heal. They couldn't burst him down in time before the Pele and the Houyi would catch up. It's once he got that, it was just hard for them to come back.
Agreed. But man, was that exhilarating to watch. I think let's talk about the Medusa here. Medusa was probably the winning factor earlier in the tournament, just putting out everything for the team, following up all the CC chain. 0-6 here, still has 11 assists, so she was part of it. Got 10k damage. Do you think maybe Medusa was the weak link here, or was it just getting outplayed around the corner?
I don't think the Medusa was the wheeling. She made some really good plays. The problem I had with this Medusa pick is you never really could have get the ult off cleanly and effectively. Yes, you could use it for a slow, but unless you can guarantee that stun off of it, Medusa's really going to struggle. You didn't have a lot of people to help follow up on the CC chain for the ult. You don't have a taunt to help get them to look that way from like a Circuit or an Athena. Just really struggled to get that ult off from Medusa to really capitalize it. However, she did make good use of her Lacerate and her Viper shots. Really good use of that.
I agree. I liked what I saw from all 6 of these players. Phenomenal playing. We're going to go ahead, jump over to the next screen, and then queue up Game 2 of the finals, Roundtable versus Sweet and Sweaty. Let's see if Roundtable can bring it back.
Aphrodite, the first pick. Looks like they banned out their Loki. They didn't want to deal with the EJ Loki. I don't blame them.
Ranger Danger did get Sylvanas here.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I don't know. Oh well, Sylvanas is a good all around. I don't know when Aphrodite hits level 5, she will be able to immune most of what Sylvanas is trying to do.
That is true, but Ranger Danger is a very well calculated Sylvanas.
Indeed.
Go ahead.
Indeed. He don't mess with his plucks. Cuckoo coming in. Real good combo on the Sylvanas.
Oh yes, it is. And EJ in the pregame lobby, he was talking about how he started out in the solo lane and worked his way from solo to jungle to mid, and he said that he has really spicy mid lane picks. So it's very good seeing the Cuckoo come out of the EJ, and we see the Izanami pick up from the Camelot. What do you think about this?
Izanami, it's not a bad pick. I believe it'll be a lot more useful than the Medusa this go around, mainly because she'll be able to guarantee ult damage, be able to burst somebody down. She has real good hyper carry potential, really good pressure in lane.
Yes, she does. I feel like the setup here, even though Afro is going to be probably linking up with somebody, but the kiss into like a Izanami or into whatever we're about to see here come out of Sirius could be quite deadly. Who do you think that Sirius is going to pick up here?
Don't know. They did target ban out Odin and a Chucks. They did watch last game to see a Hercules. I like this Hercules pick a lot. It really tries to shut down what the Pele and Sylvanas is trying to do.
Yes, it does. So we see the switch from EJ getting the Pele again, and then the Cuckoo going in favor of his other teammate. The Ranger is getting Sylvanas. I know this is his comfort pick. This is his comfort pick. So you're probably going to see a pretty good game coming out of the red team. And the blue team, I like his Hercules pick, though. This Hercules is great.
I believe this blue team is going to have a lot of, okay, you want to dive us? Okay, bet. We'll handle your aggression with our aggression.
Yep, that's what I'm seeing here. But with this Afro with the Hercules, Early game is going to be very insane. Very insane.
Now the big difference maker is how well can this Hercules hit his knockup or his 1 and 2 or his 2-to-1 combo. If he can hit his Earth Shatter into his driving strikes, I believe you're going to have a very deadly Hercules.
All right, let's take a look at these teams. I like what I'm seeing. Ranger Danger back on that Sylvanas. If you give it to him, he's going to take it. Kukulkan to follow that up. And we saw this team comp coming out. Pele wasn't a part of it last time. It was a Loki. But I honestly like this a lot because Cuckoo was hitting everything that was initiated by Sylvanas. And like you said, they have a lot of good counter aggression. And now you pair that root, that pull, that knockup with Sylvanas with another knockup from Pele and that big burst damage. I think this is going to be a deadly combination. And on the other side, I really like this Herc and Afro pick. That's a lot of sustain. An Afro tethered to a Hercules is so hard to deal with. And I don't know which way this is going to go. If Camelot plays a really good Izanami and they properly utilize Hercules and Afro, I think this is going to be another brawl.
It all comes down to how well this Hercules hits its combos. If he hits his combos, I believe Sweet and Sweaty are going to have a real tough time. I don't think this Sylvanas is going to be wanting to play that he wants to play if these combos keep getting out. Because if Sylvanas gets pulled into the combo, he can't get away.
Here's the thing I like about this comp coming out of Sweet and Sweaty and the way they played it last time. You have a Kukulkan. Ooh, trying to get that pull. A good dash immediately from his Nami, but Ranger Danger has been known to take those pulls as well. Pele getting a little bit of poke off. Wants this farm in the mid. Gonna take it for herself. What I was saying is I like about this draft is Kukulkan can clear that wave so easily and so safely that once that wave's cleared, you can push up and be aggressive. But on the other side, an Afro and Izanami, that's also a good wave clear. That's why I think this is such a good draft to play against each other. Minions, not going to be a problem here. It's going to come down to who has the better team fight.
Yes, it also will come down to what they build. We can ask our cameraman. Okay, there we go. Looks like a Book of Thought's going to be rushed by Cuckoo. Fang started as last time. Instead of Blink, they went beads on the Pele. Still Blink on Sylvanas. I like that. Hercules is probably going to go into a sledge.
Do you like the ages here on Hercules? Would you rather seen a Shell or a Blink?
I rather would have seen the Blink on Hercules. The Blink driving strike combo is just a real game changer because if you catch somebody off, if you catch a Cuckoo or a Pele, that's their beats guaranteed to death. Set you up easily for the
And great knock-up combo to the driving strike. Brings Sylvanas back. Unfortunately, put him right in a Cuckoo whirlwind, so nobody can really follow that up close. I would like to see some CC chain going on here. I would like to see the Hercules combo as Pele goes right around the back. It's a good knock-up and Afro. Gonna sustain that back up. Cuckoo with the whirlwind. Gonna be taking on his Anami here. Just poke back and forth. No one really in any position to confirm a kill just yet.
Yeah, Hercules just off with his Earth Shatter. He did hit level 5. Looks like Round Table did hit all of them, have hit level 5. They might start showing some aggression now because Hercules Boulder is one of the hardest hitting raw damage ults in the game. But it looks like they'll just their red team's just satisfied getting their blue and then going back to farming.
Going back to the Hercules relic, I would have liked to see Blink there as well. I think the only way to really contest the Sweet and Sweaty team is to get sweaty yourself. You got to meet their aggression with your own and just out-aggress them. And I think Hercules is one of the best guys to do that, especially with an Afro attached to them. But this is a do-or-die match. They're already down 0-1 in the finals, and it's a best of 3. So they got to make it happen here. They have the potential with this comp, and they've seen Sweet and Sweaty play this comp before, minus a Loki swap for a Pele, and so they should be well versed on how they do it, how they combo it, and how to counter it. Just got to execute.
This does benefit a lot in his passes of them hitting him. He gets a lot of extra power in the early game, which can make or break whether or not a enemy guy gets away or dies. I will say the later this game goes on, the more I favor Roundtable, mainly because once you get cooldowns on Afro, good luck trying to stop that Hercules, because that Afro is going to be stuck to the Hercules. That ult coming in about every 50 seconds. Good luck trying to stop him.
I agree with that.
All he's going to do is just run at you.
I agree with that. I also think it's pretty dead even, man, when you think about late game for these guys. Obviously, Izanami a hyper carry, gonna shred late game. Perk hard to kill late game. Afro, great sustain, but on the other end, you got the sustain from Sylvanas. If Cuckoo builds Divine, and constantly ticking on Hercules, one of the best guys to apply it to an entire team and just let it tick. They're going to have good damage. The way that EJ builds Pele, he's a little hybrid. It's kind of a solo Pele. He does a lot of damage and it's kind of hard to kill. I think it's dead even, and I don't really know who's going to have the advantage.
I feel like the later this game goes on, they're going to have to rely on the Cuckoo for doing a lot of the burst damage, to really opening up that door for that Pele to ult and finish up these kills. It just comes down to a matter of who is going to get the throttle going first. I love to see Afro kiss into a Earth Shatter into a Driving Strike. Sylvanas.
Again, the Driving Strike combo. Wow, split this whole fight. Cuckoo hits Herc, not going to do enough damage. And again, Herc Driving Strike Sylvanas right under the Cuckoo Whirlwind, so nobody can really follow up from that. And anybody who does is going to take some damage, especially Hercules himself. Everybody kind of just used everything they had in their kits there, and both teams looking pretty healthy and half sustained amongst their gods. This is going to be a brawl, and I don't know if this is going to be a high kill game or a low kill game, Coach.
I say once we hit about the 8 to 10 minute mark, you're going to see a switch flip, and you're going to see them start brawling. That's when they'll finally get two of their core items, when they'll finish boots and their items, where they'll be able to start seeing whether or not they can chunk them or not. And I believe that's when you're going to start seeing the team comp and who they're going to start focusing out in the team fights.
I agree, and it was the kind of that mid-game that Pele came online last time. We were talking about it, kind of struggling in the early game, but once Pele comes online, it doesn't matter if she's 0-7, right? She's going to be putting in work. Let's talk about this Aphrodite. You didn't like the Warlock staff pickup earlier on. Oh, great pull through the wall, and Sylvanas straight to some ticking damage. Afro gets Izanami out of trouble, but that's going to happen all day. Ranger Danger just so good at the Sylvanas pulls.
Yeah, but his ult was down and really couldn't do a whole lot. Izanami could just easily dash out of that.
That's true, but it's also kind of a head game, right? Pulling people through walls when they're not expecting it. They may not be tracking when your ult's coming back up. Scares them a little bit. You might get a relic out of it. You never know. It's worth a shot, and it doesn't hurt not to. Sylvanas still full mana.
Yeah, it never hurts to get a random plug. Well, it's not a random, it's a calc. Oh, coming in from Sylvanas. Looks like there might be a Pele ult. Great ult from the Izanami to stop that. Great ult from the Cuckoo to get the Izanami and the Afro, but a great driving strike coming from the Hercules to kill the Pele.
What a play there. So we saw this watching Sweet and Sweaty play earlier on the Sylvanas Cuckoo combos. Sylvanas bleaks and gets the 3-man knockup. Always a good thing. As they try and get out of dodge through that tiny lane, Cuckoo sees the opportunity and hits the big ult, putting out the damage. It's a little unfortunate that Pele on that dive, probably still thinking she's tanky from the last game, gives Herc a free kill. They could have just disengaged there, took the win, and found something else elsewhere. Probably could have got a Demon King. Great heads-up play, though, for Herc to survive that and get a kill on his own.
I want to see round tables starting the fights and not letting Sweet and Sweaty. Because what you saw is they came into the red buff trying to see if it was there, and they were waiting for them to get to that narrow little corridor for Cuckoo ult to be the most effective. Roundtable need to pick and choose when to fight and when not to fight. They need to start some fights so that way they don't get caught with their pants down like they did last time. I do believe this the Izanami ult last time was a great ult, just couldn't do enough to get them out. They were just in a tight space, and the Cuckoo ult just came in and cleaned them up.
Agreed. And you also saw what a difference your relic makes on your initiator. So Hercules has that Aegis. He's not going to be able to initiate unless he gets his knock-up. But that Sylvanas on the blink, that was obviously a game changer. A 3-man knock-up initiation into all the burst damage follow-up. Blink is a great relic. Oh, over the wall. Cuckoo ult hits his Anami. She's going to be sent packing. Pele getting the kill on Afro. Hercules just fighting for his life, and his Nami trying to make something happen. Unfortunately, the Cuckoo damaging the pull back in. The best in the business, Ranger Danger, not letting his Nami get out for free. And Herc just trying to survive here, but he's inevitably going to fall down. That's a deicide here at the 9:30 marker on the clock, and potentially a T1 tower.
It's like I told you. Roundtable is just on the back foot, not trying to start anything. They're just trying to funnel their way out, and they're catching them every time. Cuckoo hit that same ult in that tight little area. I believe Roundtable was going to have to ward just a little bit more in lane and around just to be able to catch this Pele coming around. They don't need to worry too much about what this Pele is doing, because what they're doing is they're funneling into this Pele, and once they do, they're just prime pickings for the Sylvanas and Cuckoo. They're getting hit by every Cuckoo ult and Sylvanas ult.
You'd love to see that team fight that happened there. A lot of teamwork going on, and then a couple individual big boy plays. Here we go, back to the red buff. Pele wrapping around. We might see it here again. The blink, the knock up, the Cuckoo ult erased his Anami. And the Roundtable just now learning their lesson here. Now Hercules doesn't have a tower to go back to. He's fighting for his life. Decently healthy here. He's got a little bit of sustain. Might look for a driving strike. Might look to just juke around until he can get out. There it is, driving strike, putting actually a lot of damage out. Misses the knockup to bring Cuckoo back in the fray. Sylvanas pull, of course, brings him back, not letting him under Phoenix. And that is another deicide. 1 minute, 2 minutes right after the last one happened. How do you feel about Roundtable, who just got punched in the face last time they wrapped around to that red buff, going out there again and the exact same thing happening to them?
They need to be able to they don't need to fight and contest for every buff that's out there. They need to keep the form on their side, from the blue buff to the XP camp to the speed. They don't need to put too much pressure on red buff. You're already too far down. You're not going to be able to fight at red. You're not going to be able to fight too much at the XP camps. You need to be in wide open areas instead of tight little corridors where that Cuckoo can just have a rain on you. The tornadoes won't miss, the ult won't miss, and the Sylvanas ult just keep on ticking and hitting, and you just can't do nothing about it.
Let's see if they switch up their strategy here, and if I were them, I'd probably leave that red buff alone. That corridor right there is just so deadly for a team like this. Good poke damage on the Aphrodite, immediately beadsing on the Pele. Didn't want to take any more poke than that. Sylvanas looking to make something happen here. And he's the guy to do it. Let's tune in and see if he can get a big boy pull here. Look at the other team just backing up. They don't want any part of this. Trying to get one through the wall probably here. Sees the opportunity. Sees the Izanami.
Another problem I'm seeing coming from blue team is once they see the Pele come around, they're all focusing on the Pele and not watching the Cuckoo and the Sylvanas coming right at them.
True. And it's kind of what assassins do best, right? Especially if you're playing a solo lane assassin. Get in their face, make them panic, be annoying, be able to do the damage, and then your team's right behind you while they're focused on you to just follow up and get some kills. And now 5-1 on Pele. How about that?
Yeah, this Pele really good at engaging. The ults have been on point. Just absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, and here it is once again. Oh, the great Cuckoo while getting the double kill. Hercules once again, last man standing. Pele's no more. He's left alone to defend this Phoenix. Cuckoo gonna get some area denial with that whirlwind, and I don't know if they have the objective push here, but great team fight.
Yeah, the Warlock staff is like I told you. I don't think it's a good pickup, mainly because it takes too long to stack. You don't get a good power spike from it. I would have loved to maybe have seen Chronos, maybe Rod. I would probably like to see Spear or Divine to Spear earlier and Divine earlier. Mainly to help shut down this Pele, because this Pele is getting ready to start running rampant here soon.
Great ward awareness. They're prioritizing this Demon King. They don't want to be the first team to lose it, and that could be a big momentum shift. It's not going to go over there. Just counter warding would be a great person to solo that Demon King. Could do it all alone. Let's see if they get into another skirmish here. Without Sylvanas present for this team fight.
Doesn't give you bonus power. I just believe it gives you the health regen and the extra damage to the towers.
So, I believe you're correct on that. It's still a big advantage, and having an objective on the map and I think here for the blue team, for Roundtable, it's not so much an advantage for them as it is an advantage that Sweet and Sweaty doesn't have it.
Personally, I just say let them have it. I mean, you really don't need to force your way into that because they're wanting you to go into that to fight. Just give it up. It's not like it lasts for 30 minutes. It only lasts for a couple minutes. If you can't save the Phoenix, that's fine. Try and keep the Titan alive. You need to stay and farm. If not, it's going to be down. Well, great ult
Caught in
coming
a
out.
corridor again. Pele with a big knockup. Aegis coming out as Tsunami. Sylvanas ult going to clean that one out. Afro applying the line to the birds to two people. Falling back to Phoenix. They don't have Demon King yet, so this can be defensible. But looks like they're going to turn around and head back that way.
Izanami just has no damage on her autos. I mean, yes, Executioner helps lower their protections at some percent 10. But if we look at the total power coming from the Izanami, there's not a lot there.
Yeah, I agree. And, Bull just off the mark and starting the fight here. Immediately, the beads Aegis out of Afro. Just the Aegis. Looking to push the issue here, Sweet and Sweaty, but I think they're going to need a little bit more help, at least some minions before they go in there. Minions all the way up at their tower. I agree with that. I understand why you're getting the Shuriken right away. New item, trying to prevent some of the Sylvanas heals, but crit feeds off of more crit and feeds off of power. And with just Executioner online and Ninja Tabi, I don't think you're getting the full use out of this item. I would like to see maybe you started with the Devo gloves or something like that and then fed into some crit. That'd be fine. I would probably like to see a kin size here as opposed to Executioner. But let's see how it works out. This is probably going to end up either being an Aussie or a kin size. What would you like to see in this slot between Aussie or kin size?
I'd rather see an Aussie instead of a kin size, mainly because you need that extra sustain. But it's one of them things. It's a little too late in the build now.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's double-edged sword here. I think the Aussie, which he does go with, is going to give you nice sustain, which you're missing, but also you're going to benefit more from the kin size when you talk about the item you just built before that, the crit, and we're talking about needing some power in this build. You're going to get some good attack speed. You're going to get that sustain, a little bit of pen. I think it's fine. I would like to see a big power spike early game and build in some crit and just look to shred people.
I would have loved to see Bloodforge early on.
Oh, yeah.
If not Bloodforge, Divas. But Divas takes too long to would have taken. You probably would have had it almost done by now. But Bloodforge gives you that instant damage right then and there.
Bailey out here just soloing Demon King by herself. Now that Phoenix is rendered useless, and I think Sweet and Sweaty are getting mighty hungry for a bird right now. Gonna be walking it down lane. Pele a little ways off. Obviously hasn't moved his speed. Gonna get there. Afro gonna take time to back. Probably get another item online and see if they can make this defensive stance right here.
I know for the past few fights, the way Round Table's been fighting, Hercules has been pushed up, pushing back the Cuckoo. He's pushing back maybe one or two, or one. Hold that thought. Blink ult for the Sylvanas, blink on the Pele, just destroying.
No, and we see it time and time again. The blink 3-man knockup from Sylvanas, and then Pele following it up and just detonating both Afro and Izanami. And again, Herc left alone to defend. I don't know if he's going to be able to get this one done. This might be it, guys. Kukuo committed to the Titan just to get the burst damage off. Hercules still alive, still fighting. Minions there. Cuckoo, this could be it. Ladies and gentlemen, Sweet and Sweaty getting it done and taking the finals and the whole tournament for Air Force Gaming.
And it just looks like the Round Table never could just get a good team fight go for them. They were always on the back foot running. They could have never really stopped the initiation coming from Sweet and Sweaty.
Great, it was just too much aggression and too much burst damage, and they played too well together. That initiation from Sylvanas was just so good every time, constantly. 3-man knockups, and then I don't even know if Cuckoo could ever get in those fights. Was just sending ults from the background, but Pele was hot on Ranger's heels, just saying, oh, we're going in. Here's my damage, and then erased off the map. The whole team. Hercules just standing there wondering what happened to the squad.
Yeah, well, really.
Great game. Fantastic game.
Absolutely exhilarating finals. The whole tournament, we just saw so many good things from all these players, and both of these teams absolutely deserved to be here in the finals and gave us a hell of a show.
Indeed.
I would love real quick to get these champions into the chat and get a post-game interview going with all three. Let's jump right in over there and see what we can talk about. Team Sweet and Sweaty. How's it feel to be champions of the first Air Force Gaming tournament?
Not only champions, but undefeated champions.
Undefeated champions.
There's the flex coming out. Undefeated champions of the world. Let's get some questions going for the boys. We saw you guys play a little bit different comp in the first game. And then that second game, playing the Sylvanas Cuckoo combo again. EJ not on the Loki, but this time on the Pele, who worked well the first game. What was the thought process behind reverting back to that combo?
So I'd say we saw like their healer comp, going on like a lot of early game aggression. And our counter to that is like, instead of building anti-heal and sustaining in these long fights, we're just not going to give you the chance to heal. We're gonna blink in as Sylvanas, ult, get a Cuckoo ult, and then have Pele come in and clean up. There's not going to be any time for you to heal. That's kind of the game plan going into that.
I think it was a really good game plan. What were you worried about from the other guys after that first game, if anything? You saw them drastically switch it up. And that first game, you actually saw them run back a comp exactly how they ran it in the semifinals. The Medusa, Anubis, and
Nox.
the Nox.
Nox, dude. That was the most annoying comp, but I kept a cool head the whole time because, like, you guys are throwing 3 CC moves at one person. Like, I don't have a Cthulhu and a Hui that's going to run you down. I'll just sit over here with my 2 magical defense items, and I'll just wait for you guys to die. I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, with that game, it was just, Anubis, obviously, early game pressure is insane. That level 5 spike, I mean, if your bees aren't up, you're just dead. So it was just me on Cthulhu. I knew, once I get my level 5 spike, I picked up Cursed Ankh as my second relic, had Pestilence online. Once we got those items, we knew that those team fights were pretty much over for them.
Speaking of which, I want to bring up a situation that happened early on in the game. We saw you pick up that Cursed Ankh, and we assumed you were going to blink in, Cursed Ankh, go into the Cthulhu ult, and just wreak havoc. And you guys tried it. You blinked in, you went to the Cthulhu ult, no Cursed Ankh came out, and then Anubis ended up getting a triple kill there. Walk us through what happened there.
Yeah, so with Cthulhu, you got to be real quick. So it's the same thing when you use Blink Thorns, that you can't use Thorns while you're in the ult, but you can pop Thorns and then go into the ult. So I just, me being, I guess, going too fast on the keyboard, I'd already entered the ult, and I was like, well, shit, I can't pop. I can't pop Curse Donk now. So just kind of like, we just full committed.
Let's switch gears over here and talk to EJ. We saw some weird stuff coming out from you in this whole tournament. You ran back the Pele, who you popped off with the first game, but the early game on your Pele kind of struggled. What was the difference here in the second game?
So the second game, I knew Sylvan. He's gonna give me perfect setup every single time. Then we got Mills on this cuckoo timing. He didn't miss a beat. So I'm like, all right, I'll be patient. I'm gonna wait to see what I want to see. I'm a jungle main in Conquest. I'll wait to see what I want to see. I see my Sylvanas blink in, hits a 3-man knockup. I see the cuckoo ult follow it. Aphrodite wants to use her ult. Okay, now we're about to blow you up.
Fair assessment. I like it. I like the switch that happened, and this Sylvanas Cuckoo combo is just disgusting. You guys were always in good time. Ranger, walk me through. You got probably at least 6 blink 3-man knockups that game. Were you waiting for them specifically, or you just saw the opportunity and your blink was up and you went with it? Walk me through what was going on there.
Yeah, so, and we were talking about this where our game plan was just to combo our ults, and their big mistake, is not realizing that our ults all benefit from them being really close together, and they were constantly just grouped up. Afro is kind of forced to stay grouped up with someone. Realistically, they really should have had that hurt pushed out a little bit more, trying to pull people back into the Aphrodite and for like a stun, into like an Izzy ult. But instead they just stayed grouped up, as tight as could be. And there is not a better sight as a Sylv than seeing their entire team grouped up like that. So
I agree. Let's talk to K-Mills here for a second. I want to talk about, you played Hu Yi the first game, correct?
Correct.
Okay, let's talk about the build that came out of that Hu Yi. It was a little unconventional, something we haven't really seen. You went with a Soul Eater right off the bat. What was the thought process behind that?
I picked it for the cooldown reduction. I was trying to get my 2-1 combos out as much as possible. It's really mostly it.
All right, short and sweet, and obviously it was
Honestly,
working.
It's either that or Devourers, in my opinion, and I went that just to get cooldown.
I liked it. I like what we saw, and it was working, and Pele feeding in the foreground kind of gave you an opportunity to put out some damage. So it seemed to work all around. I liked it. Let's turn it over to Brick and Coach. Do you guys have any questions for the boys, the champions?
Unfortunately, Coach is not here, but I do have some questions. Ranger Danger, I'm proud of you. I told you earlier that if you didn't win, I was going to be pissed, and you didn't disappoint. So
it was a
very good,
team
very
effort.
good.
I mean, support can
Very
only do
good.
so much if the rest of the team doesn't go in with them.
Yeah.
So Sylvanas is nothing without that Cuckoo ult, and then the Pele to follow up.
Yes. Very good games from all y'all. As soon as I saw the second game, when the drafts, and I saw you on Sylvanas, I said, well, it's going to be a good game because he's got his comfort pick in. I kind of knew from there it was going to be a...
I was really surprised that they did not ban the Sylvanas, especially because we didn't get to watch anybody else's game, so we didn't really, get to figure out any target bans or anything. But I thought for sure after seeing just our synergy with the Sylvanas, that was going to be a target ban. But I mean, hey, with that and then them letting Cthulhu slip in the first round, that can't happen.
They were looking very strong in the first game. And we saw them run this, like Jared said, as a literal run back of a team they used in the semifinals, and was very strong in their favor in the semifinals. But like you said, the single target damage, dumping into the Pele. I mean, for so long you keep doing that, the other two players are going to come and eventually clean it up. So, EJ, you did great. Like Jared said, you were feet on the Pele in the beginning, but it was great. I didn't ever lost confidence. I knew that you were my team that was going to make it all the way. I said it from the beginning.
Thanks. I hate getting focused so much. I'm a solo laner at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see 3 ults get dumped on my head, I'm just like, okay, you guys are cool.
Preach.
Man, it says yeah, he's getting focused, was constantly tower diving, taking on the whole squad. I don't believe it for a second.
I mean, if that's my job, I'll be that person. I don't need the spotlight. Let somebody else kill him.
One last question for me. It's going to shoot over to Ranger Danger. It sounded like the people wanted any chance in the future that you're going to take on the iNooblet in a 1v1 Sylvanas matchup.
I mean, we shall see. I mean, with you being on the sticks, I don't know if you can really compete with the Sylvanas on the massive board, but we'll see.
Is that a challenge? Is that a challenge?
I mean, we'll see.
All right, that might have to be something that we get into very soon. All right, you heard it from the boys. Congratulations to Sweet and Sweaty, leaving true to their name. They're going to go take a nap now, or maybe it's because they're scared. We're not sure yet.
Go get some food.
I'm sure we'll see them in the future. Congratulations again, guys. Take it easy.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.